Big news! Big news coming out today from the world of Pokemon. They have announced the next game in the franchise, and it looks really cool. Although the names of each of these worlds are getting a little bit hard to pronounce. I mean, first off, we had Kanto and Johto. That was pretty simple. Then we got Unova, but now it's Real-Life? Real Life? Am I saying that correct? Real Life? Is that the name of the new region? It's also called Earth. Is that a thing? Am I getting this wrong? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, gotta focus on this. Very important stuff. Today it was announced that the Pokemon Company would be teaming up with Niantic, which is a group of former Google software engineers who split off to create their own augmented reality mobile phone games, which is an entire sentence that will confuse old people, but listen, focus on this. The two of them will be teaming up to create a new Pokemon game for your phones, and yeah, there have been mobile phone Pokemon games before. There have been like Candy Crush ripoff games, there have been puzzle games. This is an actual Pokemon game that turns reality into your new Pokemon adventure. This new mobile game is called Pokemon Go, and basically the idea of it is that it will allow you to capture Pokemon in real life, and we got very little information on it. Very little. In fact, there's literally only 1 second of actual gameplay in that trailer, and who knows if it is even like finished gameplay. They might still be toning that up, but that trailer was still amazing and it captured everyone's imagination. I will get to that in a second, but let's talk about what we do know from that trailer. Okay, what we can tell so far from that trailer is that this is a game for your phone that will basically tell you how far you are away from Pokemon. Like basically the Pokemon will appear in real life and your phone will say, hey, it is 200 feet that way. Start walking in that direction. So you gotta go over there, and then sure enough, on your phone, it will appear and you will be able to capture it. We don't know yet whether or not you will be able to battle them like you do in an actual Pokemon game. It looked from the trailer, all we saw was just them capturing it, just throwing the Pokeballs at it. However, in the trailer, it does show people selecting which type of Pokeball they want to use in order to capture them. And this to me does imply that there will be actually battling, because if you can just throw a Master Ball at everything, why on earth would you just buy a Pokeball? But that brings me to my first concern. Don't get me wrong, I am super excited for this thing, however I do have small concerns. And the first concern is that they said that this is a free game, which blew my mind. I was expecting this to be a new $60 game, but no, they say it is free, however it will have microtransactions. And that is my first concern, because when you see people selecting those different types of Pokeballs, my first thought was, they're gonna make you buy Pokeballs with actual money. They might give you like 3 normal Pokeballs every single month to use. However, if you want to use an Ultra Ball to capture your big monster, you gotta pay. I myself would rather just sign up with some kind of subscription service, kind of like you do with Pokebank. You know, for anybody out there who's used Pokebank, it's a great system, only costs you $5 a year, and they let you store all your Pokemon on their system. So with this, I'd like to see them do something like that, where it's, you know, $5 a month, you get access to this many Pokeballs, $10 a month, you get access to this many Pokeballs, something like that. I don't want it to be a thing in which I have to pay for every Pokeball individually, because I can see myself running into a Gengar, and it's like, oh man, I gotta capture that. Oh, Ultra Ball failed. Alright, I'll pay another $1. Ultra Ball failed. I'll pay another $1. Ultra Ball failed. I'll pay another $1. Ultra Ball failed. And so on, and so on. Or, the worst situation being me going, oh man, I don't have any cash this month. Alright, I'm just gonna have to lay low, not spend any money until next payday, and then all of a sudden my phone goes off and goes, oh, by the way, there's a shiny Eevee right over there. And that brings me to my second concern, because a lot of these Pokemon look like they're going to be time things. It doesn't look like it's just going to be sitting over there forever. It looks like these things are going to pop up just temporarily, like, okay, this one Pokemon is going to be standing over there on that street corner for the next 30 minutes. So if you want it, go over there and get it now. And I have a bad habit of being late for everything. It's a bad habit I've had my whole life. I'm trying to fix it, but it ain't happening anytime soon, because I'm gonna be late to that too. But I can see myself running to work, being like, oh man, I gotta hit the train right on time. All right, come on, run, just ignore everything. And then my phone goes off and goes, hey man, this Bulbasaur is going to be right over there for the next 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to spare? Come on, of course you got 5 minutes to spare. Who doesn't have 5 minutes for a Bulbasaur? So yeah, I would like to preemptively apologize to everyone who ever expects me to show up for anything ever, because that ain't happening. And there's also a moment in the trailer in which it shows someone throw out their Gyarados and starts attacking someone else's Snorlax, but the guy with the Snorlax, he isn't battling. He's just walking down the street and then his phone goes off and it says, Snorlax is under attack. So here's my other concern. Does this mean that you can get into battles without agreeing to it at all? Because like I said, I'm always running late to everything. I don't have time to engage someone in battle. So I wonder if I'm gonna load up all my Pokemon into my phone and be like, all right, there's my team. All right, I'll do something with them after work. And then I run to work, and then by the time I get to work, they've all fainted because everyone in my neighborhood was just like, oh shoot, hey, Pokemon, come on, attack, attack. Now, just because I have those concerns, don't think that I don't believe that this is the coolest thing that I have ever seen. And one of the really cool things that they show off in this trailer is that you get this little like badge thing. It's like basically a Bluetooth device. And you can either like, tie it to your lapel, you can put it on a bracelet, and the thing will light up and vibrate whenever you're close to a Pokemon, so you don't have to just keep checking your phone at all times. I think that that is awesome. However, if you could make this thing motion sensitive, that would be the most amazing thing, because then you could link it to your phone, make it motion sensitive, so when it's time to capture a Pokemon, you don't just go, alright, and capture, done. You could actually throw a Pokeball at it. You can actually make that hand motion with the little bracelet on, and it will read it in your phone and go, alright, you threw it this hard at that angle, it's going to hit, and it's going to hit this well, and it's going to be that effective. I think that would be awesome. And the other thing that they showed off that looked really cool is it shows a bunch of people going to Times Square, and then all of a sudden it just says, Mewtwo is free for the next 10 minutes. And then everybody has to join in and battle that Mewtwo. Now, I don't know if it's going to actually be like that. It might be like the legendary releases that we get now, where it'll be like, hey, go to GameStop for the next month and you get this thing instantly for free. Or it might really be what we saw in this trailer, where everybody has to go to this one spot during this one specific time, and then you all have to join in. And I think it will actually be something like that, because this is being made by Niantic, and the games that they have made before, they do involve a bunch of real-world get-togethers. That is part of their big advertising campaign, so I think that is awesome. By the way, speaking of Niantic, I love that this thing looks exactly like that April Fool's Day thing that Google pulled a couple years ago, in which they were like, hey, you're going to be able to capture Pokemon in real life through your Google apps. And then Niantic is a group of software developers who actually split off from Google. How much you want to bet that all those guys at Niantic were the guys who actually pitched that April Fool's Day joke, but they pitched it as a real thing, and Google just laughed them off and said, no one will ever be able to do that. And they just went, we'll show you. So yeah, back to the big Mewtwo event that shows at the end. I am wondering, is it going to be a thing where you just show up and every single one of you have to battle it individually, where it's just going to be a bunch of people looking at their phones like, alright, I'm going to attack, and hey, I caught my Mewtwo, alright. Or is it going to be like it is in the trailer, where it's going to be one big team battle? Because I love the idea of Pokemon being a game that actually brings people together. And if this is going to be a thing where everybody comes together, you activate your phones at the same time, and it's like, alright, all the attackers, pile on, do this, alright, pull back for now, just bring in the big guns, everybody who can heal up, and like everybody's working together in team. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be so fun. Now that's about all the information that we got about the game from that trailer, but I just have to geek out here for a second and just say, that trailer looked amazing. That trailer, oh my god. I've been into Pokemon for basically 20 years now. Basically, the moment that it came to the States, I was into it. The moment that Red and Blue came out in America, I was there. And so I've been playing it all this time. And yeah, when I was a little kid playing those games, all I could imagine was, man, how great would it be if we lived in a world of Pokemon? Every single kid out there who has played Pokemon has had that thought. Hell, every single adult who has played that game has probably had that thought too. And seeing this, it was like, this is as close as we're ever going to get. And before anybody decides to poop on this party and come in and go, well, it's not actually going to look like that. I know, like I said, they show 1 second of real gameplay footage. It does not look anything like that. And we all knew it wasn't going to look like that. However, looking at that trailer and looking at how fast technology is growing, that's going to happen one day. If this game is successful and it shows that people want Pokemon on their phones, that is the future of Pokemon right there. Think about this. Imagine if Google Glasses one day become so popular that everybody can have them. That they're basically like cell phones, where everybody has got glasses that have the internet and their phone and all kinds of information right there on their face. Eventually, one day, that will be reality. What we saw in this trailer, where everybody can just look out and see Pokemon fighting and running wild in nature, that will be a thing for the people who have the Pokemon app. For everyone who doesn't, you're just going to see a bunch of crazy people out there going, Pokemon Go! That will be me, by the way. That will be me making those exact sounds in public, throwing Pokeballs at invisible things. But yeah, looking at that, I'm not gonna lie. That was all my childhood fantasies come to life. I almost started to tear up at that trailer because it's happening. This is the future of gaming. This is the future of Pokemon specifically. It's the future of a lot of games out there. To all you Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there, this is basically what your cartoon invented. Don't think that you're not the next franchise to get this treatment. Although speaking of that, can we all take a moment just to recognize how incredible it is that that cartoon said the only way something like this could ever happen was through the use of giant floating holographic disc and ancient Egyptian spirits coming back to life. And in about 5 years, you're gonna be able to do it just with a pair of glasses and your phone. Although I will say I'm a little bit ticked because a month ago I asked you guys to vote on what you want my next theme week to be, whether you want it to be crossovers or Pokemon, and you all chose crossovers. And now, within the last week alone, we've gotten the announcement of Pokemon Go and of Pokken coming to the Wii U and coming to America. You guys chose the wrong thing. But yes, even though this game is not going to look like this trailer, I'm still super hyped for it, and I am really looking forward to what technology will one day be able to do with this franchise. This trailer really did capture my imagination, and I'm looking forward to this game. So I want to know, what do you guys think about this trailer? Are you looking forward to this? Are you not a Pokemon fan, but this has you interested? Have you been a longtime fan and you don't care about this? Let me know what you think about this Pokemon Go announcement down in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. I make fun, geeky videos every single week on this channel about anything from the world of geekery, whether it be video games, movies, comic books, Pokemon, all that and more. I make videos about it every single week on this channel. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to share this video. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of October, and we're doing okay right now. Could be doing a little bit better. So if you know of anyone who might want to see this, or any website where this might do well, please share it all across the web. And if you want more from me on the web, then you can follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at Professor Thorgy. The address is right there. And if you want to watch some more videos from me right now, well, like I said, we just wrapped up crossover week, so you can click right here to see my top 10 favorite video game crossovers of all time. And you can click right there to see my top 10 favorite comic book crossovers of all time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Come back next time, and gotta catch 'em all.